Greetings, everyone. Welcome to episode 13 of the EdTech at EPISD podcast. This podcast is brought to you by EPISD and Instructional Technology, a division of the Active Learning Department. So in this episode, we're going to cover how to save and back up your MacBook computer to your OneDrive account. So we've talked about how to save from a Dell computer to get ready for the MacBook rollout, but you might have some issues with your Mac, whether you're a student or a teacher, and you may need to back up your files to OneDrive to turn your computer into the techs so that they can fix whatever they need to fix. Sometimes they might need to re-image, meaning that you will lose everything that's on your device, so it's best to back it up before you turn it into the book room or before you take it to technology services, and that's for teachers on Merchant Sense. So let's go ahead and talk about the ways that you can back up your computer to OneDrive. So it's possible that some of you might have installed the OneDrive app. So that is in the self-service. So when you open the self-service, and here it comes, there it is. Down in alphabetical order and the O's, you will see the OneDrive. You can go ahead and click install, and this app will install on your computer. And once it installs, it will open up and ask you to sign in. Once you're signed in with your EPISD email and password, then you will start seeing the OneDrive bring in the files that you have recently uploaded to it. So if you backed up your Dell files before the laptop rollout, then as a teacher you will start seeing those files. As students, if you've used files in other computers, other devices, and you uploaded them, created files and uploaded them to OneDrive, then you're going to start seeing them come into your OneDrive folder here. So it's going to upload all the files that you have uploaded to OneDrive. Okay. So this is my OneDrive app, and these are the most current files that I have uploaded to OneDrive. But I can obviously open the folder that's installed in my MacBook now, or I can view this online. So this probably might be the fastest way to get stuff loaded to your OneDrive, and maybe you're already using it to where you're saving directly into your OneDrive and you created your folders and added your files. But if you happen to have files, let's say in downloads, so I have a few files here in downloads, as you can see, and I wanted to save these to my OneDrive. Because my OneDrive is I've added as part of my favorites here, I can go ahead and drag and drop these files into my OneDrive. Okay, just like that, and then it'll appear on my OneDrive. The nice thing about this, and here's that file, that image, is that up here at the top, I'm seeing that my OneDrive is updating. So when I click on it, it updates. And depending on the size, meaning it's, when I mean update, it's connecting to the cloud. And depending on the size, that's how long it's going to take to put this file from your computer to the cloud. Okay, so it didn't take that long. So my file's up there, but this was in a big file. But let's say I want to grab all these files and drop them into my OneDrive. Well, I probably want to create a folder, maybe a MacBook backup file, something like that. And I'm gonna go to my OneDrive, and to create a folder, all you have to do is click up here on the settings gear and then click new folder. Okay, so that's how you create a new folder. I created a folder, and I called just that. I called it the MacBook backup files. And that's where I want to drop or copy paste my files into. So I'm going to go back to downloads. I'm going to click on the first file to highlight. Then I'm going to go down to the last file, shift click, and it's going to highlight them all. What I want to do is I want to copy these files and place them into my OneDrive folder so that I can back them up in case the techs need to go ahead and re-image my computer and I lose everything. I at least have it backed up to my OneDrive. So I'm going to right click or secondary click. I'm going to press with 2 fingers. This might be different for your device. You might do a bottom right click or a bottom left click. I left it as a 2-finger press. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and copy these 30 items down here at the bottom. And I'm going to go back to my OneDrive. And in that folder, MacBook backup files, I'm going to double click to open. And I'm going to right click again, so 2-finger press, and paste them. Okay, and here they come. And it's that simple. Now this is the best way of doing this. I do highly recommend to download the app, but if you don't want to download the app, then there is another way, just the same way that we did it on the Dell, which means that we would create a folder on the desktop. So I'm going to right click, 2-finger, secondary click, select new folder, call this MacBook, the same thing, MacBook backup files. Alright, and again, I'm going to go ahead and select these files, just like I did before. Right click, secondary click, we're going to copy. I'm going to open this folder, I'm going to secondary click, paste. So now I made a copy of these files. They're in that folder. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to go to my browser. I'm going to open up Office 365 at portal.office.com. I will sign in. And I'm going to click on OneDrive and open up OneDrive. So this is the online OneDrive account. This is where all the files went that I put into that folder. And so here we are. And I might have to change the name of my folder because I think I named it the same. So here's my folder, MacBook backup files. I'm going to minimize this window a little bit. And I'm going to change this to, I'll put a date, 2019. So now all I have to do, since I have all my files here in this folder, I'm going to create a copy inside my OneDrive at portal.office.com. Click and drag in here, and it's going to say drag to any location. I just want to drop them in the file section, and it's going to create. It's going to start downloading, creating that folder. So I can see right here that I'm uploading to the cloud. Right, and there's my folder, MacBook Files 2019, right below my MacBook backup files. Alright, so that's going to take a little while. Depending on how many files you have, that's how long it's going to take. Those were the only files that I uploaded were from my downloads. That I put in this folder were for my downloads. But you might have some files in documents. So if you have files in documents that you need to drop in here, then you need to grab the files, the complete folders, whatever it may be. So again, I can right click, copy the whole folder, open up this folder, right click, and paste it in here. And there's my lesson plans folder. So you would do that, bring in all your files into this folder, backup folder. Anything that you need to save, go ahead and put it in this backup folder, and then go ahead and drop it into the OneDrive link, the OneDrive folder inside of Office 365. If you have any questions on how to do this, please be sure to contact your instructional technology specialist. We have come to the end of episode 12. Remember that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the link at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time at the EdTech at EPISD podcast.